Sadiq Khan's idiotic net zero agenda is now getting opposed by his own Labour members. And we're going to give you the latest on the ultra low emission zones, the 15-minute cities, and the low traffic neighbourhoods across the country. Okay, maybe the domino effect has already started. The snowball that brought down initially just in the Ardennes in New Zealand, and now earlier today we reported Nicola Sturgeon is resigning. Maybe next on the table is Sadiq Khan of London. Mainly because this man just doesn't want to listen. He doesn't like scrutiny, he doesn't like accountability, he doesn't like any basic criticism. So he's smug and arrogant agenda to push for ultra crazy net zero measures that will help him raise money for his city hall and his London authority. At the same time, keep certain friends happy, like Greta Thunberg and Attenborough and many others, so he could go on the international stage and say, hey, look at me, I'm such a statesman. I'm going with a globalist agenda. But it's slightly backfiring. So let's talk about what's going on now, because we keep talking about this issue on a daily basis on this channel, but we're going to give you the latest realistic update on what's actually been going on. For those who haven't been following it, just in case, this is the map of Greater London. The red area was always the congestion charge zone, so you go through it if you drive through it. Because of traffic, they had that there, and you get fined. But the green part is the ultra low emission zones, the Euless area, which is mostly central-ish London. But he's now proposed the purple area, which is the whole of Greater London, basically. Even the suburban areas, that has got nothing to do with anything when it comes to pollution. People like Sadiq Khan claim that the ultra-low emission zones will help with pollution, it will reduce pollution, and it will help with traffic. Ironically, anything that we've seen so far, it actually increases traffic, and it takes the pollution somewhere else. So you're just moving the pollution, you're not really reducing it, and it is destroying people's lives. High street shops are closing down. We're going to give you some facts and stats in this video of actual shops being harmed because they're going to close down, and people's lives as well. So this is, by the way, this is when it comes to the low traffic neighborhoods and all the speed measures, they are completely destroying cities like London. By the way, this is not just about London. We're going to talk about other cities as well, for those who don't care about London. If you can see on the map, there are some roads that are more reddish, like red, purple, and pink. Those are the only roads left that you can actually go up to 40 miles per hour or 50 miles per hour. The rest of it are all going down to 20 miles per hour because he thinks that will help with what? Pollution or traffic? You're actually increasing traffic because of that, and it's actually completely destroying neighborhoods. But let's talk about his own Labour members. There are a number of Labour MPs in London who are now so scared of losing their own support in their own constituencies, so they're coming out against Sadiq Khan, against their own dear leader of London. So one of them is Abena Opong Asara, who has said that my concern is that we don't want to be in a situation where people are going to be worse off. Oh, really? Now you've noticed it. Interesting, because you guys continue to support net zero measures, but because you're scared of your own seat, you say this. Another one. Oh, yes, we have Sumit Malhotra, who says, whilst I share the goal of reducing pollution and increasing air quality, I am very concerned about the economic impact the current rollout plans will have on residents and small businesses. Now you care about small businesses. Interesting. We have John Crutus from East London saying, deeply disappointed about the policy and his representations had fallen on deaf ears. Dagenham and Rainham is a home to many low-income workers who rely on their personal vehicles, because part of this agenda is to basically get rid of cars. They will eventually want to abolish cars, personal use of cars. But for now, they're going to do it slowly, and then by 2030s, they're going to get rid of, block and ban diesel cars and petrol cars. So if you haven't changed it by then, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So let's talk about Euless, ultra low emission zones, because it's not just about London. We've got places like Buckinghamshire and Essex and Hertfordshire who have now pledged to join Kent and Surrey in blocking the installation of any Euless camera or signs warning drivers entering the new charging zone. So we have recently talked about places in Kent and Surrey who local people or local residents decided to rise up. And we're also going to talk about other places as well, like Harrogate. Don't worry about it. And these places have gotten their local authorities and councillors to actually start a debate. And the debate being started is at least as something. Buckinghamshire and Essex and Hertfordshire are also joining that list. So when it comes to Harrogate, we talked about this, but there was a massive protest a number of times. And thanks to the Together Declaration and those guys that organized this, let's go to the video.
We're here in Harrogate, all the traffic supporting. We're saying no to LTN. Everyone out here. Outside the council hearing, Michael Carter and others are not listening to people. But people in Harrogate having their voices heard. All the traffic is supporting as well. No to LTNs in Harrogate. You'll be hearing much more from everyone. No to LTNs in Harrogate.
And this is just the beginning, by the way, because literally until a few weeks ago, the beginning of this whole opposition was a few people like us online leaving comments or tweets, and we were accused of being crazy, tinfoil hats. None of this is happening. And then you're actually having people, and a small group of people in each area, neighborhood, standing up and protesting. And it's going to go up and up and up. You already had in that video motorists and drivers who noticed the signs and they were showing the support to the protesters. And it's just one area in Harrogate. They were outside the council. This is going to continue until we actually push out certain politicians like Sadiq Khan, because they're not going to make U-turns. They're going to get blocked, as again, for example, when it comes to Euless, Sadiq Khan, his policy is getting blocked. But there are other things. The low traffic neighborhoods, as you saw in that video, that protest in Harrogate, we talked about the 15-minute neighborhoods that is also going to be on the cards. But the effects have already been visible. It's destroying local neighborhoods. It's destroying people's lives in the middle of a cost of living crisis. For example, this is Oxfordshire. So when it comes to Oxford, we have already had 153 shops being affected so far, instantly. One of the business owners in Oxford said, "This is a power move by the middle classes, gentrifying and segregating and getting the world that they want. As long as they've got a couple of cafes to cycle to, they don't care." I absolutely agree with every word that this business owner said, because this is a campaign made and run by the upper middle classes, especially in places like Oxford or Islington or these places or Cambridge. And they just want the world that they want to live in, and it doesn't really matter about what you want. And as long as they have their avocado latte coffee and all that nonsense, then they're fine and they'll be happy. And they'll have their own book clubs and the foreign film clubs and everything else with subtitles, and they'll be happy with that. But it is affecting the rest of us. Together Declaration, the website, if you want to check it out, are very, very proactive when it comes to these campaigns. Free Our Streets, they have a page dedicated to this. It says, "Most of the public do not want the low traffic neighborhoods or so-called 15-minute city schemes, roadblocks or other restrictions, but they are being ignored. It's time that they were heard." And they also have all these petitions and also details of their campaigns. If you want to check it out and see if it relates to your own local area or not, you could get in touch with them and start your own campaign in your local neighborhoods. They got a petition to be signed to say no to Euless. They got the same with the low traffic neighborhoods and everything else. And it's important to support these movements. But we're going to keep you guys posted on various issues related to this on a regular basis. This channel will continue to challenge the establishment and the mainstream media, from the left-wing nutters to the globalist establishment and the elite. So the best thing you can do is click on the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and click on the bell next to it to get notified. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.